folks, and welcome to the Ask Shell Show. My name is Shell Fuzzy. I've got Morgan here beside me, and this is a live show for you on your favorite topic, I'm sure, every weekend. Home improvement, home maintenance, all those things that you have to do in and around your home. And today being St. Patrick's Day, hi-diddly-diddly, it's nice to have you with us on this Everything Green Day. And, well, I know there's going to be a lot of activities all over the Lower Mainland and certainly all across the country today on great St. Patrick's Day. But, folks, the show is yours. This is the show that you ask the questions that you're having problems with. And, yes, we have emails. By golly, I tell you, we can certainly see that this is an electronic field day when it comes to home improvement. Send us an email. We have them. And we're going to have Morgan read, well, the ones that we brought along with us anyway, because I think a lot of emails today are relevant to pretty well every homeowner that would have a concern with what do you do with this? What do you do with that? How do you get this done? How do you get that done? And that's what the show AskShell.com is all about. And keep in mind, we've got tickets. If you're interested in some free tickets to the Zoomer show, if you're a Zoomer, or do you know what a Zoomer show is? That's a senior with lots of zip. So it's a show that takes place on Saturday, April the 14th and Sunday, April the 15th down at the Vancouver Convention Center. And it's a great show. And I've got tickets for anyone that would like to attend, and they are free, okay? So it saves you a lot of money because you don't have to pay to get in, because this is a show that we like to hand out tickets for anyone that's going to home shows, Zoomer shows like this one here, and we certainly would love for you to go. And the tickets are here. You'll be able to pick them up right at the stations and or at our office, or we can certainly get them out to you somewhere. Well, Morgan, how are you this morning?
Excellent. Thank you, Shell. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Hey, thank you.
And everyone else.
And everyone else out there. I think it started yesterday in a lot of cases because I saw a lot of green faces around last evening, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot more this morning. I
think so.
And tomorrow morning.
And tomorrow morning, there'll be a lot more. But, folks, St. Patrick's Day, Home Improvement Day, this is your show day. So anything that you've got on your mind, here is the telephone number. Please write it down. It is 778-574-1077. That's the number to call. That's the open line show. You'll talk directly to me, and Morgan will pick you up on the telephone line. And as soon as we have a caller, you will be with us. This is our second show, Morgan.
It is. The first one flew by, so I think this will be the same.
You know, and the whole week, this flew by. It's just amazing, folks, when you get involved Monday through Friday at the office, taking care of concerns with the homeowner. We certainly love talking to you. In fact, I had a phone call yesterday from Miami, Florida, and it was a lady that had concerns with drainage. And we just saved her thousands of dollars because, obviously, she was being asked to do something that just wasn't right. And I said, how did you get a hold of me? She said, I very simply went to Google and said, home improvement, and my name came up.
Well, you are the worldwide leader in home improvement.
Well,
so.
you know, at electronics, and to take a show that I did up until 8 years ago, and then I retired. And my gosh, I tell you, one of the worst things I think I ever did in my life was to retire from a show that's so important. But hey, here we are back, folks, and we're here talking to you throughout Greater Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. So you give us a call. Telephone number 778-574-1077. And if you're driving, hands-free, please, but you can certainly peg that number and give us a call at any time. 778-574-1077, and we will definitely take your call right here, and anything that you have on your mind. We'll take care of it. I will take care of it for you. Just so that you're aware of what's going on around the province, Today, right after the first break, I have a gentleman. He's just an interesting person. Calvin Hogue is his name, and he is the manager of the new Surrey Hospice Society thrift store, and which has got the Shell Buzzies toolbox. So you can purchase used tools, and I can tell you there's some great buys in that store. And it's right on 176th Street in Cloverdale. And the actual address is 5625 176th Street. And Calvin's going to be with us and talking about well, we like to call it the soft opening of the Shell Buzzy toolbox. And that way we get all the bugs out of it and what have you, get this and that done with it. But we'll hear it all from Calvin here after our first break. So please stay with us. If you're enjoying your first cup of coffee, you can get on the telephone line, 778-574-1077 throughout Greater Vancouver and Fraser Valley. Give us a call, and we'll take care of you. Last week, I believe I did mention that our grandson is up in Salmon Arm with the Ballard team, and that's the curling, and they're in the Juvenile BC Curling Championship. And I tell you, folks, that they're doing very well. They're sitting 7-0 right now. And today and tomorrow we'll tell the tale as to the way that will wind up. But we're certainly very happy with Hayato and Troy and Joshua and our grandson Dawson. Congratulations, and I hope you all have a great time there today. What a game. If you follow curling at all, folks, it is a wonderful game. A gentleman's game, it sure is. But let's get to you. Let's talk to you. 778-574-1077. We're going to go, first of all, to Morgan. And Morgan, give us an email that we've got that I'm sure the folks will be listening.
Yes, Shell. This email came to us from askshell.com. All you have to do is become a member. It is free, and then you can submit questions to Shell, who does answer them all via voicemail, and then we select the few that come to air. So this one comes from Austin in Surrey. I tried draining my water pipes to stop the constant banging, but no luck. It used to happen about once every 6 months in an upstairs closet wall, but now it's weekly. I've tried all the ideas I was able to find on the internet, but have had no luck. I don't know what to do next. My house is 12 years old. The water tank is only 5 years old. Funny thing, banging was always early morning, but not now. It bangs anytime and quits by itself until the next bang. Thank you, Austin.
Well, you know, Morgan, Austin has got a fairly common problem when you deal with water hammer. And that's the terminology that we use today, folks, with the banging of water pipes, domestic hot water, domestic cold water. But normally you will get it in the cold water. That's your supply line that comes into the home, and from that supply line will go to the hot water tank, etc. But water hammer, it really is one of these aggravating things, because at the time that it takes place, you're normally trying to sleep, or you possibly were listening to the AskShell.com show. I had to put that in there, Morgan. And the banging is caused by pressure within the pipes. And, you know, when you try to get things done yourself, folks, one thing with water, domestic water, that you do not do, and that is deal with the water pressure valve yourself. That water valve is something you want to leave alone, because a lot of folks think, well, if you want to lessen the water pressure, you turn it clockwise. Not so. There's a lot of people think that to give you more water pressure, you turn it counterclockwise. It's just an item depending on what you have, where it's located, and also, and very important, and very likely the answer to your question, Austin, as to why now all the time rather than just at a few times a day. The pressure within the system that comes into your home will increase and or decrease depending on the time of day, because it works based on demand. If there's a lot of demand on the domestic water line coming into your home, then obviously the water pressure in the system is going to go down, which will put your system in your home down. But at night when everyone's in bed, or at least the majority of the folks are in bed and the water pressure demand is down, then the water pressure will build up in the line. This will happen more so in areas where you have new water lines being put in. So new development properties, for an example. And new development properties, you do get a swing in water pressure. And when that water pressure swings, then you're obviously going to get more and or less when you're dealing with the fact of water pressure or water hammer. So what you want to do is, if you have a demand problem and a water hammer problem like Austin has, folks, get in touch with the plumber and have the plumber put in a release valve. And it's an actual valve system. Normally you'll find them in the area of your washing machine, your clothes washing area, or the clothes washing machine, because that is dealing with solenoid switching, meaning that as soon as the dial is turned on your washing machine and the electronics is put into place, then what happens from that point, you get that the solenoids allowing so much water to pass through, and then it'll shut off. But it doesn't shut off like we would just turn a faucet. It goes wham, and it's when it hits that hard, then if you don't have that pressure reducing valve in place, and they can be added after the fact, incidentally, that will happen. Now, that's one thing that can be done. And incidentally, we do have those services available for you when it comes to plumbers. The other thing that really gives a considerable problem with water is when you get into ice makers in your refrigerator, because they work on a solenoid system. So that is another one that you have to relate to. So all of these things dealing with pressure does require control through a valve, which is a pressure reducing valve or pressure increasing valve. Should not be dealt with by homeowners. So therefore, if you have the water hammer, you can put it very simply by putting the pressure reducing, it's actually a suppressing system that would go in your laundry room. Now, another thing, too, very quickly, because I know we're coming up to a break here, that what you want to be cautious of as well, hot water tanks. If you have, over the past, say, couple of years, or recently put in or had the city put in a water metering system out at your front yard or backyard, wherever your main water line comes into the home, then you may require to put on a pressure reducing tank on the water line coming into your hot water heater. So that's something else that if you've had that sort of thing done, that would be one of the first places that a plumber would look at. And you can put a pressure reducing tank in place, and when you do that, it also takes away that water hammer. Okay, so there you have it, Austin. First of all, do not play with the actual gauge itself for the water reducing valve. Have a plumber come in and take a look at it. And when you do check your water pressure, you check the water pressure not at your laundry sink, at your outside faucet, outside the home, because that way you're dealing with the pressure which normally comes right from the main line of the city or the township. Okay, it's just that easy, folks. This is the Folks Show. I call it the Folks Show because it is the how to the what to the where to the why to the when to the who to, folks. We take care of it all. We'll take this break. We'll be back right after this. Hey, and welcome back, folks, to the AskShell.com show. Yes, we take care of all your home improvement questions. Please write the telephone number down. We do realize this is our second show, and we ask you to give us a call. In fact, I think what we should do, Morgan, is maybe put a little bit of a contest out there. So the next caller that calls the show, I happen to bring along with me today one of my books, and I'll tell you, I found it because we're moving, folks. And when moving, I found one in a box, and it's still wrapped in its cellophane. So if you would like one of my books, which are well, you can't buy them in the stores anymore because they're all sold.
Right,
They've
and you
been
found
gone.
quite a few stuff while we were moving.
Gosh, well, 5 books, and each one of them sold well over 10,000 copies. So, but if you'd like to win one of these, folks, you be a caller here on the AskShell.com show. The telephone number, please write it down, 778-574-1077. First caller wins the book, and it's just that easy. Well, as I promised to you, coming back after the break, that I would have a gentleman with me. And actually, he brought his wife Cheryl with him as well. And she's just a delightful lady. But his name is Kelvin Hogue. And Kelvin, good morning.
Good morning, Shell. How are you?
I am absolutely top drawer. You know, every time that I get up in the morning, I feel as though I'm here for a reason, and that reason is something that I like to take care of. Now, folks, Kelvin is the manager of the Surrey Hospice Society Shell Buzzy's Toolbox.
That's right.
Kelvin, tell us all about the Toolbox.
The Toolbox is a store we're just opening right now with used tools, used to new tools. It's full. We try to accommodate everybody's needs. And the best I can say is come on down and take a look.
You got everything from soup to nuts in there.
Pretty much. Much.
You know, folks, this is right across from the liquor store in sunny Cloverdale, the heartthrob of Cloverdale or Surrey. Yes, it's 5625 176th Street.
That's right.
And the hours of the store opening
is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Tuesday to Saturday.
Tuesday to Saturday. So Sunday and Monday is off. And you know, one of the neat things about the Toolbox thrift store is that when it comes to doing, I guess, a job or maybe a person that's just getting into handiwork around, like the millennials, and they are maybe without tools. Maybe there's no tools within the industry that has suited them. But they come out and talk to you, Calvin. You've been around in the building industry.
I have for over 30 years. I can help.
You can help. You can find what because I see in there you got vacuum cleaners, you've got shop vacs, you've got chop saws, you've got a planer in there, you've got all kinds of hand tools and paint. You got paint that's well. Give us some of the ideas, some of the prices that you have on some items.
Well, let's go to the paint, for instance. The paint we sell for $5 a gallon.
Wow.
And $30 for a 5-liter pail.
Wow.
We have DeWalt planer that regularly goes anywhere between $6.99 to $8.99, and we're selling it for $189.95.
And that's a
hardly
surface
used. Hardly used, yes.
Wow. Well, you see, folks, those are some of the deals that you can make. But the interesting thing is all proceeds of the Shell Buzzy Toolbox, which is part of the thrift store, the Surrey Hospice Society, goes to the Surrey Hospice Society. And the Surrey Hospice is something that everyone one day will be facing that bereavement of a lost family member,
That's right.
possibly somebody that's not well, and the visitations. Give us some of the volunteers that we have working there with you. They're just outstanding people.
Well, I have my wife, Cheryl, right now. She's a volunteer. I got Penny, who's a very good people person. Mm-hmm. I got Stu. He's a retired gentleman, but wants to help people. Most of my volunteers are people that like to help.
Well, you know, and that's so important.
It is. It's
So
very important.
I was talking to one of your ladies yesterday. Was it Penny that I was talking to?
Yes,
What
Penny.
a character. She was just hopping and skipping around the store there, and she said, I just love working here with Calvin, and I love doing what I'm doing as far as helping out those people at the hospice. And, you know, when it comes to fundraising, nonprofit organizations really do need that help.
Yes.
And
yes.
the help today, it's not something that's always funded by the government. It's not always funded by the local area or the city. But on the other hand, doing something that is being done today, and there's all kinds of thrift stores. I mean, you get your clothing stores and you get your mixed stores. The store, which is the Shell Busey Toolbox, always wanted to do that.
And it's a one of a kind.
It's a one of a kind. It's a one of a kind, and it's one of the. I've always wanted to be that that tool thrift type of purchasing center where you can go and contribute. Like when I retired and moved our office recently, we contributed that material, and we've had all kinds of people phoning you. And what do you do when you get a phone call, for example? Give the folks that are listening an opportunity.
We still get people phoning for your for a lot of your stuff, your products. Yesterday we sold some of your deck cleaner.
Oh yes.
And some stain. And what happens when somebody calls? If we have it, we'll accommodate them, and most of the time they'll ask questions.
Right.
And we'll answer them. And if we don't have it, we'll find out where they can get it. But generally, we have it.
That's the kind of help that really people need today.
That's right.
And especially, folks, when you are buying it and you're buying it at just a small percentage of the real value of what it is that you're buying. But screwdrivers and pliers and wrenches and paintbrushes and handsaws and drills and you got to see the neat environment that's inside the store, because Kelvin and his volunteer crew have really put together an area that has also the support of how to use the tools. And that's where Kelvin has got that opportunity to speak and spend some time with you.
That's right.
The telephone number, if you'd like to ask a question, folks, anything at all on your mind, anything that you have, for an example, around your home. Hey, I know there's a lot of millennials out there that now own a home. And if you have a question, 778-574-1077. Give us a call, and we'll certainly see that you get taken care of right here on the AskShell.com. And location-wise, what do you think the location in Cloverdale?
The location is perfect, but we could use a little bit better parking. But it's easy to find. It's right across from the Cloverdale liquor store.
Yeah.
And the Dutch Pancake House.
The Dutch Pannenkoek. Yeah, right.
And we got Tellus right beside us. But it's very easy to find. Well, and yesterday, we did get our signs put on.
Great. I noticed I had my picture taken with him. I got a picture of you there as well. And go. Folks, that may be sometime a really good opportunity for you, as Morgan indicated. Morgan, would you like to just give the folks the address and the email that they can join the club, the Shell Busey Club?
Yes, you just have to go to askshell.com. That's ASKSHELL.com. And if you are not a member, just join up. It's free. We do not share email addresses. You will have to confirm once you have joined up, and then you can log in and ask Shell a question at any time or even on the weekend.
It's just that easy, folks. So, hey, why not give it a root and toot? I get a real kick out of folks when they phone the office and they say, "Is that you, Shell?" And I say, "Yeah." And, well, we thought you retired. Well, I guess I did one time, but I say that I'm as close as retirement as being one foot out the door and the other foot on a banana peel. But I'm going to be a long time slipping, I think. I enjoy what I do, taking care of you. So we're going to take a break right here now, folks, and we go back. We got a caller on the line here. We want to take that caller right after we come back. And with Calvin and Cheryl, you're listening to the AskShell.com show. Brand spanking new, folks. You're listening to the second show. And the telephone number, fill them up, 778-574-1077. We'll be back right after these messages. Welcome back, folks. Shell Busey here. You're listening to my AskShell.com show, and the telephone number is 778-574-1077. I have a gentleman with me, along with his wife, who is the manager of the Shell Busey Toolbox, which is in Cloverdale, and it's part of the whole Surrey Hospice Society's thrift store line. So we'll continue, but we do have a caller on the line there, Morgan.
We do, Shell. We have got Joan on the line.
Hey, good morning, Joan. How can we help this morning? And happy St. Patrick's Day.
Good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you.
I would like to find a least invasive way to get rid of moss on top of an old cedar shake roof. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, it's a pretty simple project, but I have to start out by saying I don't really like people up on their roofs because the item that you're going to be using or you can use is not something that you want to be walking around on cedar once you spray it on.
Okay.
Because it makes it very slippery. And unless you're going to go to all the work of renting the harness gear to be up on the roof, then I'm going to suggest that you do not do that. But taking it off a deck, off a lower roof, you can use the Shell Busey home cleaning formula. I'm sure you've noticed it or used it over the last, it's been on the market for well over 20 years now. And mixing it heavy duty, all you're required to do is to mix it with water. And it was brought to my attention the other day after many years that using warm water, well, I've never mixed a powder with anything but warm or hot water, but you mix it with hot water or warm water at right to what it states on the label and put it in a garden sprayer and spray it on, and that's all you have to do. Just leave it. And it's just that easy. So what you want to do if you're wanting it done professionally, we do have that service available. And we do have it. It's not by using a pressure washer either. It's being used by this regular garden hose pressure, which is your pressure that you run into the house. And that is the very best way to do it. Now, at this time of the year, you're going to have some green shadowing by the algae, which will eventually, if left wet and damp and a little bit of sunshine like we're having today, it's a beautiful day out there, that you'll get that green haze, which is the algae, and that's very slippery in itself. So have it done professionally, or if the person that's going to do it is going to be very careful with the proper gear, safety gear, then it can be done. And it's just that easy.
I've also had people recommend zinc pellets.
Zinc pellets, I don't think, Joan, that you can buy zinc pellets anymore. Those were, now, if you do find them in a store, then they are something that is really not something that they are marketing. The reason why, because of the environment. But if you have a flat roof, like a gravel roof, or even a flat roof that's got a fiberglass reinforced asphalt, you can spread them out on it like you'd feed chickens. But on a regular pitched roof, no. There's even a number of areas that you can buy zinc strips to go underneath the on a pitched roof along the ridge cap. And the problem with that is that it's been grossly oversold over the years, because you can appreciate if you have it just on the lip of the shingle at the ridge cap of your home, the amount of water that runs over that and then down the roof line, it's a zinc residual that's going to kill the moss. And you don't get a lot of rainwater going over, say, a 2 or 3 inch exposed piece of zinc zinc strip, that's what we call it, comes in a roll. And to get that water running over it and taking that residual down the roof line, you see what happens. You end up with maybe 2 or 3 feet of no moss or no algae on the roof, and then it fades out because it hasn't got enough water to run it the full distance. So it's not, it's if you're really concerned about the roof, and you've got, in your case, you've got a cedar roof, I would be spraying it with the cleaning formula, or there is products that you can buy today that are for taking moss off roofs. But I can tell you, mine works just as well. It's and really, it's all distributed by the stores out there. We don't sell it anymore ourselves, and but it's certainly out there in the stores, like your Windsor stores, your Cloverdale Paint stores, your Rona stores, and the home hardware stores. It's all out there. So it's that to me, it's the easy way. Who was going to do it? Have you had somebody at home or?
No, that was my next question.
Oh.
Could I contact your people to...
That's what you should do. Just give us a call. In fact, the person you'd be talking to is sitting right beside me here, Morgan, the gentleman that answered the phone. He is my operations man, and he takes the information down, passes it on to our referral people, and bingo, bango, there you have that service right there for you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Joan. And you are the winner of my book. Did you get told that?
I did not.
Oh, you are the winner. So
Pleased.
now I'll get Morgan to get your name and your address and your phone number, and we'll certainly see that gets out to you, okay?
Thank you.
That's one of a kind. Don't ever let that go out of your hands, because it's something that's very sought after. And I found it when I was cleaning out some boxes when we were moving. So there you have it, Joan. Have a great St. Pat's Day, and thanks for calling.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Folks, you're listening to the AskShell.com show, and I'm Shell Busey here helping you with all your home improvement questions. Anything that you've got on your mind, you give us a call right here at 778-574-1077. And we're coming up to another break here, folks, and we will take your calls right afterwards. And I've got the manager of the Shell Busey Toolbox. That's out in the beautiful parts of Lower Mainland, Cloverdale, and it's at the Surrey Hospice Society thrift store, the Toolbox, where you buy tools. And keep in mind, when we come back, I'm going to ask Kelvin if he's got any garden tools there. But we'll take this break, and we'll be back right after this. And welcome back, folks. Shell Busey here with the AskShell.com show. And happy St. Patrick's Day to you all listening there today. And it's nice to have Joan and others calling. And some are calling just to, say hi. And, we're going to have to find some more books. You guys and gals out there want books by the sound of it, eh, Morgan?
Yes, we had a Rosie call in as well, other than Joan. She said she didn't have a home improvement question for you, but she would love to have your book, and she said she used to come into your store with her dad back in the day.
Wow. Well, Rosie, I had a lot of dads and what have you, and I hope that dad was always taken care of like I like taking care of people, and that's making sure they get the good, better, best. Why worry about the rest? When the good is better, the better is best. It's just that easy, isn't it? Yes. And I'm going to come right back. And the telephone number, incidentally, folks, is 778-574-1077. Give us a call, and we'd love to talk to you about anything at all that you got on your mind. Okay? Anything. And if you're driving to work right now, give us a call. Hands-free. Okay? It's just that easy to do. But they're out there watching. In fact, somebody was saying they might have some of those little gremlins out there at the corners today with the green suits on. I won't say who that would be, but they would have maybe a radar gun. Well, anyway, if they're out there and they catch you, look out, be careful. And I'm going to come right back here now to Kelvin. And Kelvin, at the Shell Busey Toolbox, what about garden tools?
We have a large amount of garden tools in really good shape, some usable, but for the most part, we have a ton.
A ton?
A ton.
You got a wheelbarrow?
We got two wheelbarrows, yes.
And what about, did I see when I was around there yesterday a seeder and a fertilizer spreader?
You did.
Wow.
Yes.
So there you have it, folks. Those are some of the tools right now that you can go and purchase for a minuscule percentage of what the value you'd find in a store. So address 5625 176th Street in the heart of Cloverdale, just off number 10 highway. Turn east, and I'm sorry, turn north.
North.
North, yeah, turn north. Well, you're going east. If you're going east or you're going west, one way or the other, you'll either turn left or right. And the store is right on your left-hand side. The door's got the sign on it, Shell Buzzy's Toolbox, and very much part of the Surrey Hospice Society, where 100% of the proceeds from the sale, from your tools that you donate. And incidentally, if you donate and you would like a receipt for donations valued at what your value is going to be set at, you will get a receipt as well. So, folks, if you're downsizing or if you are just wanting to get rid of tools, possibly from a loved one that has not really been using the tools any longer, or there's no one in the family that wants to hand me down when it comes to tools, they're not handy, then I know Kelvin could check with the tools as to what it is that they may want to use, and he'll teach you how to even use it. It's just that easy, eh, Kelvin?
That's correct. Thank you.
What would be the most unique tool that you would have in that store? And I don't mean when I'm in there, me being a tool.
Well, we have a lot of older antique tools, which would probably just be good for a collector. But I would say the lathes.
The lathe?
The hobby lathes.
Wow.
We have a couple of hobby lathes that, yeah.
Now, you mean those hobby lathes that you can use, you can go to Windsor Plywood, for example, and buy this hardwood
Yes.
and make pens?
You can make pens, you can make little dollhouse chairs, you can do whatever it is you need.
Well, there you have it, folks. Not only is it screwdrivers and pliers and wrenches, but it's also hobby, craft tools. I know you even got a book area there with a bunch of books there.
Yeah, and that's a gathering place for people that want to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
And ask questions.
See, there we are, folks. Now we're talking about Shell Buzzy's Toolbox, and it's part of the new store by the Surrey Hospice Society thrift store, and all proceeds go to the Surrey Hospice Society. Now, you may be aware that the Surrey Hospice Society has a thrift store in Newton. This is the second store, and the second store that deals and sells, well, tools. And it's one of my ideas that I've always wanted to do, and here we are, we do it. And we got a caller on the telephone line here, folks. The telephone number to call, you'll fill them up, 778-574-1077. Morgan, who we got?
Well, Shell, you said yesterday you had a call from Miami. Well, we're keeping it south of the 49th parallel. We've got a call from Palm Springs. A gentleman by the name of Phil. You may recognize the voice.
Phil George is the man of the hour. And Phil, I know you're enjoying yourself down in Palm Springs. We miss you up here doing those handyman jobs. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you, Shell?
I'll tell you, Phil, if I was any better, I'd likely be you. But on the other hand, I know where you are, and you're enjoying yourself. But I got to explain to the listening audience that, first of all, this is not a setup call, folks. He knows that the airwaves is being covered by the Shell Buzzy Ask Shell show. And he obviously knew the time of it, and he phoned it, and here... Anywhere in the world, folks, the internet takes us. And Phil, you're coming home next weekend, I understand.
That's right. I'm actually counting the days to go back home. It's really nice over here. Another beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky, but there's nothing like home. And home for me is in Surrey.
Well, listen, I'll tell you. Happy St. Patrick's Day, because we got a beautiful sunny day here as well, and I'm looking out through the window, and there's not a cloud outside of some real white whispers away up in the air there. But Phil, tell the folks listening right now one of the things that you do get quite involved in when you're back home. I know you're retired, and you and I certainly get along very well in the construction industry when it comes to helping people.
Well, Shell, as you know, I've been in the construction industry for the better part of my life, which is now 40-some-odd years, and I retired from a company that I founded back in the early 70s, and I found myself bored, and I, of course, have had experiences in the construction industry from anything and everything, and so I put that to work, and I doing little projects for people around people's homes, with yourself many times, recommending me to folks, because as I've mentioned to you many times before, you provide an excellent service to especially older folks that have no idea where they're going to find someone to hang a door or fix a door or fix a window or do things around the home that perhaps husbands used to do and no longer the fellow is around. Many things of that nature. So I'm really happy to get out of the house and get some of those projects done and help people out.
Well, I'll tell you, we sure are happy that you're part of our crew. And I might add to your comments, and you're such a humble guy, and I just love you for it. You not only have been in it for many years, but the construction contracting company that you formed, Avanti Contracting, your son David, you hear him on the airwaves from time to time talking about the construction industry. He is one heck of a chef. In fact, he is a winner. Tell the folks what he won recently.
Well, our son David, a self-taught chef, has won the Master Chef Canada series, I believe 3, back about 2 years ago. And he is not only a hell of a, or I should say a heck of a construction manager, but one great chef. And he's, at this moment, at this time, he's managing the construction company, which is going tremendously well.
And brother Kevin?
And also, I'm sorry?
And brother Kevin?
Yes, Kevin. Kevin is manages the sites, and David managed the overall of the company.
Right.
And it's working fairly well, thanks God. As well as David is owner and partner of 3 different restaurants in the Fraser Valley, which is fantastic.
Yep. Well, you know, when it comes to cooking, and chef he is, but boy, he is one heck of a man when it comes to stamped concrete and exposed aggregate concrete, all the things that you started, and you've now left that to the boys to do, and now you're doing your part, giving back and helping the seniors out with our home improvement services that we provide, and you're one of those gentlemen that are out there working, and I might add, one of the very first referral network members going back almost 30 years. Folks, Phil George, the fellow I'm talking to right now, he's a young, I call him a young man, but he is younger than I am, but he is Portuguese, and he is a heck of a quality craftsman. So, Phil, you enjoy yourself down there because you earned every moment that you can get some sunshine, but we're looking for you to get back here and get into some of these projects that you have for registered to be done starting this early spring.
Well, Shell, thank you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Have yourself a great day. Thanks for chatting with me, and much success with your show. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you very much. Say hi to Maria, and safe journey home. We'll see you next weekend.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. Phil George, folks, and if you don't know the name, Avanti Contracting is the game, but he is one of the most major contributors to placing concrete, where his sons have picked up now the driveways and patios and you name it, and very much part of our home services, and that's where Morgan shines. He shines at the end of the referral network, correct?
Yes, you can find Avanti Concrete on AskShell.com, or you can give us a call at our offices at 604-542-2236. That's 604-542-2236. We are there Monday to Friday, or you can leave a message if you get no answer.
Well, I'll tell you, Morgan, we're coming up to another break here. This show there, this runs by like a flow of water. The telephone number, folks, 778-574-1077. Keep in mind, folks, if you get through on the lines, Morgan will take your name and your phone number. I will call you after the show ends. If you're not inclined to be on the radio, we will take your phone call and call you, and I'll take care of all those questions that you may have. Okay, on this beautiful beautiful St. Patrick's Day. Heidi diddly diddly, I always say. Why don't you sit back, enjoy your coffee while we play a few of the ones that pay the bills around here, and I will be back with your questions and my answers right here on the Ask Shell Show on the Ask Shell Radio Network. Hey, and welcome back, folks. You're listening to the AskShell.com show every Saturday morning, folks, from 8 a.m. until 9 a.m., where we take your calls and we answer any questions whatsoever you may have. You may be on your way to the office. Hey, call us hands-free. We'll take care of you as well. Or during the week, I'm going to have Morgan right now advise you just how you can get a hold of me and or him for that job around the home or that question that you've just got absolutely no answers for. Morgan.
Yes, you can go to our website, askshell.com, where you can ask you a question. You can find home improvement articles. You can watch home improvement videos, which takes us over to our YouTube page. Just search for Shell Busey. We've got over 2.5 million views on there.
Wow.
You can find us on Facebook, where you can also submit questions through to us. Search for and like Shell Busey's House Smart Referral Network. And you can also find Shell on Twitter at Shell Busey. That's at SHELLBUSEY.
Yes, and be listening on our website on the Ombudsman. I love the way that comes out, Ombudsman. We like to take the opportunity right now of saying any of you folks that would like to go to the Lifestyle Expo Zoomer Show 2018. That's the Zoomer Show presented by CARP, and it's going to be held at the Vancouver Convention Center in halls B and C, Saturday, 14th of April, Sunday, the 15th of April. So if you'd like tickets, each ticket will allow you and a friend or your spouse or a guest to enter the show free. And you can get those tickets by simply calling our office at 604-542-2236. And you can Google it, Shell Busey, and you'll get us on the internet as well, and the phone numbers are there as well. It's just that easy. Now, let's see here. Back on past Wednesday, the Rona store in... we're going to a break, I'm told, at the end of the show. My God, we there already? Hey, my gosh, folks, we are. Here I was getting rambling on. You've been listening to the Shell Busey Ask Shell Show. We'll be back next weekend on Saturday, 8 till 9. Don't forget, folks, we love you all.